So South Africa is in the news a lot these days, but what I want to talk about is the flare between the DRC and Rwanda and South Africa sending troops to DRC to fight. There's already nine South African soldiers already lost their lives in Rwanda, in DRC, because of this flare up. And it has been reported that they was not properly equipped. They don't have enough weapons, enough ammunition, stuff like that. But listen to what one of the ministers said in the assembly, in South Africa assembly, and it makes a lot of sense. But we're gonna listen to him and we're gonna dissect it. Take a listen. Boom.
Honorable members, I want to send my deep condolences to the families who have lost their loved ones. It is often said that soldiers die in fields they have not chosen. The leadership of this House chose that field to be the Eastern DRC. And ultimately, the question will continue to haunt us. If these were our children, would we send them? I want to highlight a few things. The distortion of facts is simply this, that we are going on a peacekeeping mission. No, we are not. We are going on a combat mission with no equipment, with no supplies, and our young people are being killed there. Furthermore, fellow South Africans, I want to say a few things that must happen, and I want to be unequivocal. Let us bring back our troops back home. They have no business there. It's getting worse by the day. People are dying. More people are being displaced. Yet we keep thinking we can come here by tinkering with the budget and send more troops. It is not going to result in peace. The second issue is that the financial sustainability of this war is not there. Under Operation Tiba and Operation Vigela, we took money from social development, sending troops to Mozambique and other places, and said, let's send our troops there. What we are in fact saying is that while we go to the DRC, for the South African child, there'll be no more teachers, no more social development. We simply don't have the fiscal wiggle room to send troops to the DRC. Thirdly, we are sitting here with the corpses of our troops still stuck in the DRC. If we are serious in honoring their lives, we should take every effort to bring back our troops home. It is an immediate call, fellow South Africans. And ultimately, I want to urge that our leadership role must be one to find a peaceful mediation. Let us call for a dialogue between M23 and Tshisekedi so that we can find a response there. Let's ensure that Rwanda withdraws its troops from DRC, and let's compel Rwanda's government to dismantle the FDLR. It's the only way we are going to find. Lastly, this parliament must commission inquiry to ensure that we find out how many have died, what the financial implications are, and how quickly do we end this circus that is taking place. We are not silencing the guns, we are increasing violence. And therefore, honorable members, I leave you with this question. If these were your children, will you send them to DRC?
So there you have it. All those who are pushing to send forces to Rwanda, none of them are sending their kids. None of these so-called ministers who pushing war, either they don't have kids or they're not sending their kids because they always choose to send other people's kids, not their own. If you want to if you are serious about this so-called you want to go and fight your own brothers and sisters in Rwanda in DRC, send your own kids. Then I know you're serious. And finance, they don't have the money for it. And why will you see, there's always this narrative that we must always attack our brothers and sisters for the least of things. But how is it the DRC is very corrupt. The president of the DRC is very corrupt because he's doing so much shady things with the outside Western the colonizers, the multinational companies, and they are ripping the DRC off. And they are want to blame Rwanda for all these atrocities that are happening in DRC for the past 60 years. Just recently, the UN, who is in DRC for peace, their sole purpose is for peace. But yet, when the UN drone crashed a couple months back, I did a video on it, they found gold, DRC gold smuggling in the drone. No one said anything about it. There was not this big uproar about why the European Union or the United Nations is stealing the gold from DRC. Then you have private airstrips where those big military planes are flying in and out on a weekly basis, dropping, picking up gold resources and all kind of other resources, all kind of ores. How is it no one is saying anything about these military planes that's landing at on private airstrips? But now everybody wanna tag Rwanda as the country that causing the what's going on in DRC. This is how the news network and the colonizers use the news to bamboozle and trick people to make them believe that this person is the cause while they're doing the most damage. And most of these people know of this. This is what blew my mind. They did the same thing with Mugabe. They paint him as this warmonger. They did the same thing with Gaddafi in Libya, and they took him out. Every time they do something like this, they take out our leaders. But when they install their own puppet presidents, they're using them now as the scapegoat to attack other African nations. President Biden did the same thing with Kenya when they sent Kenyan soldiers to Haiti to fight their own black brothers and sisters. While this same country is protecting certain areas in Haiti. Why? Because there's resources there that people don't know about. So every time they want to make it seem as if we are this destructive race and we are warmongers when they're the ones who are in the back who is funding these wars, funding this destabilization effort, causing havoc. Look at this video there. You see in DRC, villagers found this mountain of gold. Do you know what the president did? He sent in the army to take away all the gold people find and surround that entire mountain with army so no one can get access to it, and then in turn sold it. Why not leave the villagers who found it? Okay, since you are the guys who found this mountain of gold, keep what you find, but we're gonna barricade it off. We're gonna use this is gonna be the government's own. No, they sold it. Make multinational company comes in to take control of it and take away all the gold from the villagers. What? So what do you think these people are gonna do? They're gonna suffer. This is a means for them to make some money. They're the reason why you know of it, but yet you still um penalize these people. This is what the president is doing to the country, not Rwanda, not the M23, the president of Rwanda, not this one alone, Tashani. The others, not Tashani, forget it, I can't pronounce his name. Sorry about that, but the others before him, they are all puppet president put there to make sure the country does not develop in no way, shape, or form. Why is it every single country has an embassy there and multiple countries have army bases there? Why? If the West, especially the Americans, claim they have the biggest and the baddest and the best army, so how is it violence is escalating over the for the past couple of decades? It keeps on escalating and escalating, but yet you have the UN troops there, you have the American troops there, you have the Germans there, you have the French army there, you have the Dutch army there, but yet DRC is catching hell. And now they want to paint Rwanda President Kagame as the disturber, the destabilizer, when it's far from the truth. People need to stop following and listening to the BBCs and the CNNs and all these external um media network that does not have no love for the continent. Their sole purposes is to make the country, the continent, and its entirety looks desolate. Um, we are warmonger, we're disease ridden, and we stuff like I don't know the worst of the worst. That's how they paint Africa up to today, and we still have people listening to them and talking about going to war with. They cannot afford a war financially and human wise. They don't know how much of lives gonna be lost during if they should jump off. Yes, there's issues in DRC, but it starts at the head. Get rid of all the multinational companies. get rid of all these foreign bases, army bases, get rid of all these colonizers, and do the same thing that Burkina Faso did. Build your country from the ground up. Then see, that's the only way we're gonna have DRC gonna ever find peace. Because people keep forgetting DRC is the richest country on the planet. There's a reason why they're making sure it's not being stable. It will never be stable. Anyway, it keeps pissing me off when I see these um African presidents siding with the outsiders against their own, against Park Kagame, and blaming Park Kagame for everything that's happening in DRC, DCR, the DCR, when in the Congo, when this has been taking place for centuries, for decades. I meant to say, for centuries. So we're gonna blame a man for something that's happened even before he was born. That make any sense? Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. As I know, I'm getting more upset the more I talk about it because of the bamboozling that's going on. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I don't know. You don't know already. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Boom.